I'm Mr. Big Chris, and I went back to work, and I'm driving a 18-wheeler hauling crude oil. Right now, I'm on 422 East in Butler, Ohio, and I'm getting ready to take 68 North. I'm going to show you the legal way to take a big truck to a natural gas crude oil pad. It's called the Buffalo Yokel. Y-O-K-E-L. So we're getting off 422 right now. And we're going to take 68 North. Now, most of these well pads, this is a part of Pennsylvania that's just like the Wild West. It's out in the middle of nowhere. The roads are little bitty. They have to get, I'm not sure how they go about it, but you have to take the right roads back to these well pads. And these roads, a lot of times, you can't even pass another vehicle on these roads when you're in a big truck. Right. I was kind of hoping that it'd turn green again without me having to stop. All right, look at that. Yeah, I'm driving a 2016 or 17 Mack truck. It's a day cab, it doesn't have a sleeper. I got a 200 barrel crude oil trailer behind me. And this is a steep old hill right here. I'm thinking it's going to take us 45 minutes to an hour to get there. We can see some pretty neat stuff. And another reason I'm making this video is that if other people need to go to this well pad, they can just watch this video. So that's really why I'm making this video, is for other people who need to go to this well pad to pick up crude oil, water, you know, machinery has to go in and out of there, all kinds of stuff. So I didn't work for a year and a half, and I had a friend owns a couple of trucks, and he messaged me and asked me if I would help him. So I decided to go back to work, and I am really enjoying it. That's all I can say. I'm not going to divulge the company I'm working for, and I'm not even going to show the whole truck or anything in this video, because I don't know if I'm supposed to or not, but I do know if I make this video, I don't mention where I'm working, and I don't, you know, it's just best we do it that way. But you know that I'm in a big old truck. I'll move this camera down a little bit so you can see that my truck is blue. You can see the sun visor on the hood there. So I will tell you that the truck I'm driving used to belong to Marathon. As you can tell, it's the Marathon blue color. Yeah. Speed limit's 45 down through here. We're going to go up through here about 15 miles. It's probably about 30 miles to the well pad. And I started back in Weirton, West Virginia. And And that's where I live at. And there's an offload facility there. So I already done one load today, offloaded in Weirton. I got that load of oil down by Wheeling, West Virginia. And this well pad is supposed to be 105 miles from Weirton, West Virginia. So we're gonna go up through here. And 68 is gonna make a right turn. And we're gonna go straight. You know, the pad's, you know, like 30 miles north of Butler. I'm not familiar of the names of the towns. I've only been to this pad one time. I know one thing. I think that this part of Pennsylvania is absolutely gorgeous. We're going to be out in the boondocks in a little bit. You know, I made some other driving videos on my channel. I like them. Even though I went back to work, I'm still going to make a lot of videos. And this weekend, I'm not sure what the day is. The day's probably like March 14th or 15th. It's Sunday. Next weekend, the 20th and 21st, I'm going to be in Dayton, Ohio at the trade show there for remote control, mostly remote control airplanes, helicopters, anything remote control. So I'm going to be filming there and having fun. I got a couple friends that are going to be there. When I head back on Saturday, the show is going to be over with at 3 o'clock on Saturday. Well, these are some kind of fairgrounds, and it's west of Dayton. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive over into Indiana, and I'm planning on making a video the whole Interstate 70 in Ohio. So we'll go from the Indiana county line into Ohio, drive all the way across on 70 into Wheeling, West Virginia. I'm going to make that all in one video, like 240 miles. That should be pretty interesting. Well, some neat old houses here. They look like they're the same floor plan over there. That's a big old house there right on the road. No telling how old it is. One thing about this part of the country is that everything is old. You know, I mean, there's places where there's new houses, but in my opinion, there's not that many places that do have new ones. And new houses around here are probably $1 million+ also. And you really don't see much for sale either. The 68 here is pretty nice. See, you got a rollover sign there. And it probably means what it says too. Wow, look at open field. Oh, there's a well pad right over there. I don't know if y'all can see it or not. In Pennsylvania, they paint all the tanks and everything dark green usually. They try to make it blend in with the background. You know. But the well pad I'm going to, I don't remember if they're green or not. It seems like they were yellow. I don't know. We'll find out when I get there. Yeah, it's called the Buffalo. Yokel. R-O-K-E-L. Yeah, a lot of times dispatch will give you a well pad to somewhere, and they're like, well, it's only 105 miles. Well, you know, a lot of times 30, 40 miles of that is slow go. A lot of 25, even slower sometimes. I don't know if we're even going to hit another 55 mile an hour stretch or not. Nice old house trailer over there. I actually know what, in my opinion, like in the 70s and 80s, the best. I'm from Kentucky, you know, we lived in a lot of house trailers, and I always thought Windsor was the nicest house trailer you could ever buy. I don't know if they still build trailers or not, but they were always my favorite. That back there was like that old Windsor trailer. They last a long time too. Now, if I remember right, we're going to see a few house trailers on this drive. I know this video's kind of boring right now, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're chugging along at 44 miles an hour. Off to the right there. We're not going that way. Right. That's pretty funny. I already got about 7 or 8 cars behind me. Now, when I come out, I'm going to film coming and leaving here too when I'm loaded. And you're talking about going slow. By the time I get back down to 422 in Butler, Pennsylvania, they're still telling how many cars will be behind me. There's nothing I can do about it. I mean, you want to buy gas and diesel at the pump, well, that's how it gets there. Yeah, I'm going to unload it at Weirton. I put it in a big tank down there. Then they put it on barge. And it, you know, we're just about 30 miles from Pittsburgh. So then it goes downstream. It either goes to the Marathon Refinery down in Catlettsburg, Ashland City, Kentucky, or they say sometimes they'll take it down to Louisiana. The crude oil that I'm hauling is off a natural gas well site. And the crude oil I'm hauling is actually crystal clear. It doesn't have any of that black carbon in it, like most crude oil you see. And this crude oil is also a whole lot lighter because it comes up, these are actually natural gas oils, and this crude oil comes up with a natural gas. And this is a lot lighter and thinner than, say, that black crude oil. Typical gravity for this crude oil is about 53 to 70. order to be crude oil, it has to be 50 gravity or less. The oil that I'm hauling, it is crude oil, but it's called condensate because it's lighter than crude. It also is a very good cleaner. But I can tell you what they do with condensate. Like you watch on the news where the Venezuela's crude oil is really thick. Well, what they do is they take this condensate and they'll mix it with that real thick crude oil. That crude oil, it's so thick, it's like pudding. Venezuela crude oil is almost like pudding. And they'll mix it with this condensate and they'll thin it up, and it makes it a lot easier to refine. And also they got the tar pits, that's what it's called, up in Canada. And that crude oil is really thick too. And I know a lot of refineries around buy that thick oil, and they'll buy this condensate. And it will, and they'll thin it. I used to take it up to Toledo. And that's how I found out about all this, because the operators up there were telling me about it. Well, we would pump it into the same tank that they were pumping that thick Canadian oil into. $25 miles an hour. I didn't even catch the name of this town. This is Waltman, Pennsylvania. They have a Fox's Pizza. Even though I'm 100 miles away from where I live, we're in West Virginia, we got a Fox's Pizza down there too. So I don't know what's up with that. It's a big old hill. Here's where 68 makes a hard right here. Now we want to go north to get to 268. So don't turn right here. If you're going to the Buffalo Yokel, go straight. We'll go down this road a little ways, and it'll merge on to 268, I think, maybe 240, 268 probably. I've only been up there one other time. And if you turn right there, and I've never been down there, but it'll also meet up with 268. This is a cutoff road. And it's perfectly legal for me to drive a big truck on. This is for my first 18-wheeler video too. Well, I'm going to make this video, and then I'm going to put it on YouTube, and then, you know, when our company dispatches somebody and they've never been to this pad, they can send them a link to this video. Right at this moment, you're probably thinking, well, this is no big deal. But trust me, when we get up here further, oh boy, this is gonna be a wild ride. Trump 2024. Well, they must be excited because he won. They still got their stuff out there. Don't bother me now. Here we go. Junction 268. So we're getting ready to go. We're going to take 68. We're going to go to the left. We're going to go up through here a ways further. And I do know we're going to turn right where it tees at a gas station. Now we're going to turn right up here where it tees. We're going to go a little bit. I may have to stop completely and look at my phone to make sure I make the correct left-hand turn up here. We're going to go right, then we're going to go left, and then we're going to go left again, then we're going to turn right. Get on a bumpy, oh my God, a washed out bumpy gravel road. And then we're gonna go take like the left wide, then we're gonna get on a worse bumpy gravel road. Here comes a water truck right here, man. Look at that Kenworth, isn't that nice? Woo-wee. That is one nice rig right there. Yes, sir, heading to the Buffalo. What's up today? Come back again. I have my squelch way. Well, that truck driver was going to tell me something about the buffalo, but I guess I didn't have my squelch turned up high enough to hear what he said. Wow, there's a 55-mile-an-hour sign. Right. I don't know if this road's big enough for me to drive 55. But we'll give it a shot. refinery right there. With all them tanks. I seen that place on the... Yeah, I think the name of this town is Petrolia. Petrolia, if I remember right. That means we cook a lot of petroleum around here. Yep, there's a sign right there. Petrolia. All right. Down here at this T is where we're going to make a right. All right, we're going to need a lot of street to get in here. We got to go wide. Now see that sign right there says weight limit 10 tons, but we're cleared to go this way. We have a special route. It's pretty obvious that big trucks have been tearing this road up. Buffalo Yokel. What gets me is they're cooking crude oil here in Petrolia, Pennsylvania. Why can't I just drop it off here? It's kind of like the California oranges and the Florida oranges. Back many years ago when I was driving on the road, I swear I took a load of Florida oranges to California and a load of California oranges to Florida. That's kind of messed up, ain't it? That says 45 mile an hour speed limit, man. I'd be bouncing in my seat if I drove that fast. I do remember that blue house. It's been about 2 weeks since I was up here. And I was only here once. So we gotta take a road to the left around here somewhere. That is not it. No LME. That's the company that has this well pipe, LME. There's a dead squirrel. A beautiful squirrel with a yellow belly. Looks like Kentucky a lot around here. Yeah, so I've been living up here for like 12 years now. I've been down some one-lane roads. I don't know, man. I don't know how they decide where to put that well site at. In the 45 zone now, we can go 55. You gotta be kidding me. We'll go 55 around this 20 mile an hour curve. Check this out. That's a heck of a shagbark hickory right there. Winding road next 4.5 miles. Cows are probably tired of seeing trucks on this little bitty road. Hey, I remember this hill. I had this thing in a low gear. Yeah, when you're driving a big truck and you encounter a big hill, the best thing to do is just go ahead and put it in gear, slow down, put it in gear that you know will climb a big hill. Because you don't know what you're about to get into, so. All right, this is our turn. LME traffic, see that sign there on the right? Telling me to turn to the left. We're gonna have to aim high on steering to get around this curve, so we're basically gonna have to run off the road right here to get in here. Right. That's what we done. Got 118 inbound coming to the Buffalo Yokel. Actually, you got to drive pretty far on this road to get there. I got to stop here and look at my phone for a second. All right, let's go. I couldn't imagine trying to drive 45 down here. I mean, I am swaying back and forth and everything else is going 25. Oh man, it is so bumpy. Last week there's a pullover right there. It had rained so much, it was no way I was getting off the asphalt. Never get off the asphalt if you're loaded. I learned that real quick when I moved up here a long time ago. If you're loaded, the general rule is if you meet somebody and they're empty, you stay on the asphalt and they step off the road a little bit to get around you. So, and that's what I do. I mean, if I'm loaded, I'm not getting off the asphalt. It's just not gonna happen. I've seen too many trucks that got stuck and rolled over because they got off the asphalt. A couple of new houses out here. There's one over there. It's big. I wouldn't say that it was super fancy. If you've got vinyl siding on your house, even if it's a big house out in the field, I still don't consider you rich. Rich people don't have vinyl siding. Comes a pick 'em up truck. And these local yokels, they'll want you to drive off the road to get out of their way. You can always tell the difference between a farmer or landowner that's making money off the oil wells and the ones who aren't. The ones who don't make money off oil wells, but they still own a place, they're very angry and bitter and say mean things to you. And the ones that are getting big dividend checks, they'll get out of your way and try to give you a beer. Because they're so rich, they can drive around and drink beer and not get in trouble. Oh my gosh. It is so bumpy. Lord have mercy. Woo. My mama would not like this road. We're gonna make a right up here somewhere, and then it's still about a mile back there. Down the most pothole, washed out gravel road I think I've ever drove on. I love these people who have these posted, no trespassing, no trespassing, no That there is an old well. That well right there produces the thick black crude oil. Matter of fact, we're not too far from Oil City, Pennsylvania, where the very first oil well was ever drilled in the whole world. It all started in Oil City. Somebody discovered the crude oil there, and a well blubber cooker, a guy who rode around on a ship and cooked well blubber and processed it into burning oil in your house and stuff. A lot of that blubber oil was put into lamps, fired flame lamps, so you can see at night. But this guy come out and cooked some of this crude oil, and he said if there's a bunch of this stuff down there, that well blubber will be out of business. I know this looks like a used car lot, but actually it is where a natural gas pipeline is crossing the road right there. They put in a natural gas pipeline right there. And I remember that, so we're getting pretty close to where we're going to turn right. And when we get up that road a piece, we will see those pipelines. We might see the pipeline people or see where they've been putting that pipeline in there. Last time I was here, the pipeline people were right next to the road. Oh man, it's just bumpy. All right. I know where we're at. I got an empty 18 inbound to the Buffalo Yokel. Right there, LME traffic. telling me to turn here. There's a bad ditch right there on the right. So you better make sure you pull way over here so that my tandems on my trailer don't. It's going to be hard to get going up this hill. Right. We're going. We're going 15 miles an hour now. We are. The old Thunderbird over there. Convertible. Look at all them old cars. I've seen Impala, Camaro, an LTD, a Ford. 78 Ford truck. I see dead. I see where dead people are laying. Little cemetery right there. Oh my Lord, this is bumpy. Right there. Big nice pond. Here. So right there, all them little arrows are pointing to go this way. So I know that that's not very good directions really, but when you work out here in the oil patch, you know what that means. And another big thing to watch for is look for like dusty tracks or tire tracks on the road. If you see all the tire tracks going one way, oh my God, this is that road I was talking about. It's so bumpy and blotted out. Like if you're looking for a place and you know a lot of trucks are going in and out of there, you can see where tire tracks where trucks have been going in and out. Oh, this is so bad. Yeah, the road's clear and you can't see no dusty tracks or nothing. You know that big trucks aren't going in that way. I can't count how many times I've been looking for new well pads and stuff. Especially at night. I know I gotta turn like left somewhere. I just cruise down that road until I see the tracks. We are almost there. There's a motorcycle sitting there at the end of the driveway. And right up here is going to be a prime example. I'm going to turn left. And if you look at the road right here, you can see where just truck after truck has been going left and coming out of here. Not much straight. If you read that sign right there, it says the Buffalo Yokel Well Pad, Parker Township. Right there's where the guys are working on that pipeline. It's Sunday, so they're probably not working on it. You can see here all the traffic has been going this way. So you just follow all the tire tracks. Those railroad ties over there, that's not really what they're using those for. They're not railroad. They're all bolted together, and they're like skid plates. They put them down so they can drive across the field and stuff. They'll put them down and they'll drive bulldozers and trucks and semis with pipes on there, whatever. Yep, the tanks are yellow. Right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the drive back here. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show you anywhere past here, but I will show you when I leave the pad. When I drive away after I'm loaded. I'm just probably not allowed to show you this part, so I'm gonna pull up to them yellow. I gotta get out and I gotta walk the pad, make sure there's not a spill up there, and come back, get in the truck. And so I appreciate you riding along. If you ever look for this, if you watch this because you want to find the pad, I hope it helped. And thank you for watching. We'll talk to you later.